We are live. Happy FriYAY. Happy FriYAY. It is Beatles Day. Still trying to figure out if this got released worldwide. For like, what is he talking about? Talked about the US Mono Capitol box and all that good stuff. I did not get the box, just so you know. I have the over there somewhere, right? Can't move my hands that way. That is my Capitol CD box set from several years ago. So I decided to shrink down. I didn't want to get the whole box because it's extortionately expensive, and B, it had two things I really didn't need. I did not need Hard Day's Night soundtrack. If you're a completist, sure. And nor did I want the Beatles story, nor did I want to spend an extra, $130 some dollars for the box set, which is extortionate for such a pretty thing. And I guess there's a lot of hoo-ha around the distribution of this thing. So go figure. Anyone want to join me? Whoa, what happened here? That's not what I wanted. I want to paste that. There, let's talk Beatles. So what I want to do is unbox my 5 Beatles albums that showed up today. Like 2 hours ago, literally. I ordered them from Amazon, so be it. So we have Meet the Beatles, the first Beatles album. The only thing I really don't like about this cover is how blue their faces are. I'm guessing that's the original. Actually, I could look on my box set. The CD box set. Yep. They're kind of blue on there too. Go figure. Where is my opener upper? I found my opener upper. Let's see what Meet the Beatles looks like. Hopefully I don't cut myself and bleed all over the place. That would not be good. Whoa, these are thick covers. Holy. Got it. Put that over there. Drum roll, please. No drum roll? All right. Now, I realize that the entire planet has been talking about these, so what am I going to do with these? Mazzy just put his review up like 20 minutes ago, so people are probably watching that. All right, we have a very cool inner info thing. I don't know how much people have seen of these. Got a nice little article about Meet the Beatles, America Meets the Beatles, the why, the how. I don't even remember if this much information was in the CD box. It's been a while since I played these. Go figure. All right. Gorgeous black vinyl. Capitol rainbow. Very pretty. I watched Mike's video talking about that there's kind of a lot of residue on his copies when he did his box unboxing. This looks really good to me. So Meet the Beatles looks like it's going to be a winner chicken dinner. Guess what I'm doing this weekend? Playing a lot of these. There's also an inner sleeve mock-up from whatever the original was. These are always fun to look at. I don't know if you can even tell who some of those people are. I don't think I'm familiar with any of these. There's a not a Belafonte record. There's a Frank Sinatra record on here, Letterman, a Bobby Darin album that I vaguely remember my parents having. But keeping in mind these were from the 60s. Oh, Beach Boys Surfing USA was being advertised. It's pretty cool. To give this record a longer life, Capitol recommends Duotone. In other words, replace your stylus, boys and girls. It's a good idea. It keeps your vinyl happy. Or so we hope. Very nice. These, I'm not even kidding when I say these are sturdy album covers. They're pretty thick. They're not tip-ons. I know a lot of people whining about that a little bit. It would be nice. I don't even think the originals were. They might have been. But Beatles and Mono, I'm happy. Did you know that these were made in France? According to this, they were made in France. I did not know that. I love that back cover picture. Classic Beatles. Hey guys, how you doing? What's on here? I want to hold your hand. I saw her standing there. This boy. It won't be long. Yeah, it won't be long. Yeah. All I've got to do, all my loving, don't bother me. Little child, till there was you. Hold me tight. I want to be your man. Not a second time. Got listening. Very nice. All right, one down. Meet the Beatles. Okay, we've met the Beatles. They're pretty cool. This is the one I'm looking forward to opening up. This second album. By track listing, one of my favorites, and I think a lot of people are too. Favorite too. Hang on while I sip my Murphy's Irish Stout. Not a sponsor, but you can be. I'm kidding. Sponsorships, yeah, right. Mainly chose that because the longer it sits, the better it gets. Yes, I'm one of those weirdos that likes foreign beers. To me. Let's check out the second album. If I can get it open. And I got it open. Let's get started. Oh, let's look at the back too. Cool pictures. Hi guys. Beatles second album. Track listing. Roll over Beethoven. Thank you, girl. You really got a hold on me. Devil in Her Heart. Money. Not Pink Floyd, sorry. You can't do that, Long Tall Sally. I call your name, please, Mr. Postman. I'll get you, and she loves you. So there. I'm imagining that was released. This was released in rapid succession after the first album was released. Okay. Another tape track listing, complete with a Post-it note on it. Go figure. Inside, we have another fabulous article about the making of. Additional information. More info on the back there. Looking very nice. Some mastering notes. If it's the original. This album was cut for vinyl from the original master tapes using a completely analog signal path with a constant reference to first-generation pressings of the original album. Yeah, whatever that means. It's Beatles. All right, check it out. Hey, how much you want to bet it's a Rainbow Capitol label? It is. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Very nice. Vinyl is looking absolutely gorgeous. We are pleased. Man, I don't even think we'll need to clean these. They're that good. Yeah. Check it out. Beatles second album. All right, let's see what the inner sleeve had for album releases. It's probably the same one. Yep, it is. It's exactly the same one as in Meet the Beatles. Whether that was true, I know a lot of. I remember an albums even back in the 70s, like my Elvis albums would have the little other of the albums available, and they would always be the same for like a couple of years, and then change them all again. All right, good one. Beatles' second album is in the can. Shall play these later. Sorry, I'm hiding my face. Not that you want to see me, but here I am. I can't get it back in. Whatever will I do? Get in there. Right there. 2 albums down. Hopefully some people want to come up and play. You can talk Beatles, talk shop. I want to talk about some new acquisitions I just picked up. And go along with my whole shoegaze thing. Yeah, I got more shoegaze. And things I've been spinning. And contenders for album of the year. Things have shuffled a little bit. But not yet. Let's go back to Beatles. This is one of my favorite album covers of all time. I wish I could get the glare out, but hey, shrink wrap. Oh, that looks good. Something new. I've always loved this cover. It just has that crazy. I think that was the Ed Sullivan set. I can't remember. When these albums came out, they came out, what, 64? I was not born yet. My birthday is coming up in December. I will be 60. So I am exactly as old as some of these albums, relatively speaking. All right. So something new. The things we said today, anytime at all, when I get home, slow down, Matchbox, Komm, gib mir deine Hand. German. Plus hit vocals from the motion picture of Hard Day's Night. Really? I'll cry instead, tell me why, and I love her. I'm happy just to dance with you, and if I fell. That cover, not nearly as interesting, but there's some little notes, and some of the other fabulous Beatles albums you can get, plus the Beatles songbook. That's interesting. I wonder why they didn't include that. Instrumental versions of Beatles songs. Not that hasn't been done before, but still. Yep, you got it. Rainbow Capitol. Looking absolutely stellar. This is the one day I'm happy with the lighting in this room because I can actually just shine this around and check out. I don't see any nastiness on here at all. Except they really packed the tracks. The run out on this side is really, really small. Do you see that? It's pretty crazy. Oh, who do we got here? We have Andy. Richard is past my bedtime, but as I currently comprise 50% of your viewers, I feel badly if you can go to bed. You can go to bed. I don't mind. I totally understand. It might be totally late where you are. I tend to start. I need to figure out this whole timing. I like starting at 6 my time because then I do maybe 2 hours of this and do other stuff. But my East Coast friends, like Alex at Beard and Lionel, is going to see Slow Dive tonight, so he won't be here. And I've asked a few others to hopefully show up. Yep, you guessed it. It's the same inner sleeve from the last two. Nothing different. That's interesting. Then we got some mastering notes and all that good stuff. Andy, thank you for stopping by. I do appreciate it. I do. More tape labels with Post-it notes. I find that really funny. Inner Yakables. Ooh, that's a really long one. And I'm going to look over the top here. You're seeing this the first time as I am. This looks pretty good. Stain mastering notes. And then in case you've forgotten, the Beatles members are listed here so you don't forget their names. And he said, excuse me, I'm currently listening to Kim Gordon's. Yes, good one. Got me until it finishes. That's funny. Just keep it with this, keep me with the sound off. That way you can hear Kim in all of her glory. I've streamed that album. I haven't bought it, though. But I do have a huge appreciation for her and their previous band's body of work. I've seen Sonic Youth twice, 3 times. I saw Sonic Youth in DC on the New York that New York album that nobody liked, and Nurse, and their last album. Those two shows were here in Denver, then the other one was in DC. Great band. They were crazy. I like that. Another one of my favorite little covers. I will admit that the cover arts on these Capitol issues are pretty cool. Looking at the back. I know you can't see that. I'm sorry. There we go. That's better. Oh, look. The Beatles story is on there. Something new with alternate cover art. That Beatles songbook again. I don't even think the Beatles songbook was in the CD box. Go figure. I don't know. What? You're funny. Oh, Andy, what will we do with you? Meow. Put this over here. My microphone / speaker setup. All right, what's in Beatles 65? We have No Reply, great song. I'm a Loser, great song. Babies in Black, one of my favorite songs. Rock and Roll Music, AOTY. I'll Follow the Sun, Mr. Moonlight. I like the harmonies. Don't really like that song very much. Honey Don't. I'll Be Back. She's a Woman. I Feel Fine, and everybody's trying to be my baby. So there. Can we get this out? I feel like I'm running out of hands. Oh, putting those over here didn't work. My bad. Let's do this in the same order. Let's check out the vinyl. Where is the vinyl? Looking pretty, very nice. And it said, never seen Sonic Youth. Or typically Miss Kim when she came to Manchester during her first album. And now I got my Beatles head. Glad you got your Beatles head on. Nice thing. Thank you for finding your Beatles head. It's disappeared. Rainbow, of course. Looking fantastic. I'm always afraid I'm going to find like a horrible warp. There's a little scratchy scratch right there on side one. I hope that doesn't bother things. This looks very clean. Again, very nice. Ooh. Newsflash. Different inside sleeve this time. There's a lot of Beatles stuff on there and some of the other 60s stuff. What else we got? Peggy Lee. Judy Garland. I actually had this Judy Garland album. I got it at a thrift store for next to nothing. It was brand new. Don't know where it went, though. Funny Girl soundtrack. Nat King Cole. Bobby Darin. There's another one. Liza is on here, too. Beach Boys All Summer Long was out by then. Beach Boys in concert. Lots of goodness on that. Let's scroll this down. All right, there we go. Inner notes. Anything interesting? Just another tape with track listing, more post-it notes. Apparently it's in mono. I'm glad it is. Capitol refines its formula for Beatles albums, and they change some stuff up in this really long 2-page article that goes all the way down to the end. Mine were the old days when buying records, you could just lay on the couch, look at the cover art, read the liner notes if there were any, or just stare at the other things that you could spend your hard-earned money buying. And I love doing that. CDs, for all the goodness that CDs do sound good, I'm not going to discount that. I've kept all of mine. Or I should say I've kept most of mine. And, but trying to read liner notes and lyrics on CDs, holy, that is not an easy task at all. Beatles 65. Lovely album. And last but not least, the early Beatles. Love Me Do, Twist and Shout, Anna, Chains, Boys, Ask Me Why, Please Please Me, P.S. I Love You, Baby, It's You, Taste of Honey, and Don't You Want to Know a Secret? With previous Beatles albums available for your listening enjoyment, advertised on the back. Love it. Front cover art, a little blurry. I think the original was probably a little blurry too. I don't know. All right, can I open this without hurting myself? Hopefully I can. Ah! This one doesn't want to cooperate. No. Here we go. We're almost there. Hang on. God, I would have been a terrible surgeon. There, got it. Don't need those anymore, I don't think. Albums are nice, thick, 180 gram goodness. Andy has a question. Let's see what we have here. Richard, what's your introduction to the Beatles? The US albums or the proper UK ones, or a mix? I grew up in the 60s. My parents didn't have any Beatles albums. My sister introduced me to Beatles albums, and they were the Capitol issues. I remember the first Beatles album I owned. Hang on. If I could find it. And I found it at a yard sale or garage sale or something, and it was this one on vinyl. So that's how far I go back. And this was like 1971, maybe, when I found this. I remember it was in really rough condition. I'm kind of hoping they continue these vinyl reissues, because I wouldn't mind having a very nice, clean copy of this one. So that was my introduction. I was kind of on and off with the Beatles. My sister was more into them. She loved Sgt Pepper. She liked Revolver. I liked Revolver more, but that was later. And she had the White Album. So my sister is 4 years older than me. So she was in her teens and she was going through her Beatles phase, among other things. The 70s were the Osmonds and all that stuff too. So she was into Donnie. But yeah, that was my intro to the Beatles, and then I kind of went off the Beatles because I was an Elvis guy. Then in the later 70s, I got into Kiss and things like that. I didn't really revisit the Beatles again more until McCartney was doing deeper into his solo albums in the 80s, and I started looking into those. But I did not have a complete set of the Beatles stuff until the mono box came out, the CD mono box. And I have that. So I had the CD mono box, the Capitol box, pretty much everything on vinyl that came from the mono. When the mono vinyls came out, I started buying individual ones. So like all of the ones I liked, and then I kind of backtracked. I think I didn't get Magical Mystery until that was one of the last ones I bought. Anyway, all right. Early Beatles, Green Rainbow-y. This one's a little bit thinner, but it feels a little bit thinner. Looks good. I went through track listing on this already, didn't I? Good stuff. So yes, that was my the proper UK editions I did not hear until the CD mono box came out. For real. Because, even in the 90s, a lot of that stuff was, it was getting reissued, but if it was on Parlophone, it wasn't easy to find or terribly affordable, from what I remember, because I really wasn't buying Beatles. Oh, I wish I could get this back in here. Jeez. I can talk about other fun stuff. So that is my Beatles unboxing. Let me put this back up here in case some of my other little friends were around. All right. Yeah, this is the hardest thing about doing live streams on StreamYard is it does not show you how many people are watching anywhere. Oh, yeah, it does. There's two watching. Oh, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for showing up. I know I'm not the most exciting live streamer on the planet, but anyway. So what am I spinning? Well, I will be spinning all 5 of those this weekend, and I need a beer break. Bear with me. But I've a few albums that I've just recently picked up. Discovered this one on Bandcamp. It's a group called Punch Love. The album is called Channels. Really interesting little shoegaze album. It has kind of quirky little electronica piece bits and blurps in it. On K9 Records, which I actually thought was not an entity anymore, but it's still around. Andy says, interesting. My watershed moment was hearing Sgt Pepper's in my mate's house, his older brother, specifically Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. It was a bit of a wow moment, and then I went on a journey. Yeah, there's always that starting place with any band, especially the Beatles. Yeah, my starting point was, Beatles 6, which... This is a weird track listing on it. So I got to take these off for a minute. You Like Me Too Much, Tell Me What You See, Bad Boy, Dizzy Miss Lizzie, 8 Days a Week. Yeah. Here. Yes, It Is, Words of Love, Kansas City, I Don't Want to Spoil the Party, Every Little Thing, and What You're Doing. Interesting. Probably why I did not go crazy over this album. I was like, oh, that was good. I'm going to go listen to my sister's Sgt Pepper stuff. And anyone who's asked me what my favorite Beatles album is, it rotates, it seems. Sometimes it's Revolver, sometimes it's White. Rarely I can say that the White Album is a favorite. Rubber Soul is always up there, and Beatles for Sale is one of my favorite ones too. So that's kind of where I sit with Beatles. How do I make that? There we go. So Punch Love, shoegaze album on K9 Records. Pretty good. It won't make my top 10 for the year, but it's not a bad little album. I'm trying to figure out where they're from, so I could tell you where they're from. And of course, some of these liner notes. These are all... oh, wait. Wow, there's a waste of paper. So we have lyrics and information. Nothing on a gatefold style lyric sheet. That's weird. I don't understand. Andy, I was totally unaware of the Capitol versions until relatively recently. I have a copy of the US Revolver and Rubber Soul. We'll probably pick up the new releases of one of them. Yeah, I think that's kind of the way to go with these. I was not particularly excited about this because I already had the CD box. I'll drop something. Hang on. And, but I decided I would like to have them more for... Maggie kind of talks about how people growing up in that era were listening to the Beatles, that the US Capitol editions, because they outsold everything else, blah, blah, blah. That may be well true. My deeper introduction over time to the Beatles has been more the UK editions. So when I hear some of these, they sound a little wonky to me because it's like, this isn't, that song doesn't go there. It just sounds out of sequence. So But yeah, I think that's the way to go. Just pick them up now and then, here and there, and everywhere. So, all right. Punch Love was one album I have been unspinning. Now, if any of the people watching have seen my shoegaze series, I was all gushing about Deary, shoegaze band out of England. They've done this EP came out last year, and I absolutely adore it. Which has a single called Fairground. It's a perfect starting place with Deary. Love, 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 love that song. So, released not a few weeks ago. It took me a while to find it and get it over here. Is their new one called? It's a EP called Aurelia. Very beautiful album. They have a very Cocteau Twins kind of dream poppy vibe. Very low key. Relaxing would be a great way to describe them. So Aurelia is new. Great listen. Can't get back in. I have a love-hate relationship with these things. They're nice until you're trying to do stuff like this. And they're a pain in the ass. And if you don't put them away, they're all over the house. So it gets crazy. Another shoegaze album. This came yesterday. Thank you to a eBay seller that I buy a lot of stuff from. They get me some really cool albums that I would otherwise be paying $40-50 for on the import market. This is Ringo Death Star. It's a live at Levitation that they did during quarantine. So it was basically them in the studio with crazy lighting. This is really good. It's a double album, 20 songs. Covers pretty much everything. Look at that splatter. It's so pretty. I love it. The other one is like green and purple. Andy, I'll put your comment in a minute. Get this out. This one is kind of purpley, green, aqua blue. Should I get the light? There we go. So gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I got this and Joy Division's Substance album for less than $60. This is like $42 album, and Joy Division is not cheap on any market. But all right, Andy, what's up? Let's see here. It's interesting to hear Mazzy and other stateside talk about how the US Rubber Soul album is a better album. 6 of one, half dozen the other for me. Fully understand if that's the one you grew up with, but to my ears, it's an abomination. Why do you say that? Is it because the track listing is all effed up? Which would make sense. That would make total sense. I think I grew up. I got Rubber Soul quite late. Like my own personal copy of Rubber Soul, I got quite late. What was I thinking? Oh, so, and it was a UK version. So my ears hear the UK edition. So when I hear, where is it? Here it is. Here's my Capitol. Yeah, the Capitol track listing is a little wonky. There's stuff like, yeah, it doesn't work. I agree with you. Who do we have here? Hello. Hard to read that. Enter. I was commenting earlier. It's a little bit of a rotation. I would say right now my favorite Beatles album is probably Revolver. Then some days it is Rubber Soul. Other days it is I'm not a big Sgt Pepper guy, I have to admit. Beatles for Sale. I just love that one too. Excuse me. So, do you guys have a favorite Beatles album? Put it in the comments for me so I can give you my 2 cents worth on there. What else have I got that's new? Oh, this is this next topic of conversation. like album of the year stuff. So enter is a Revolver person. Love it. That is my favorite album. Is the Teens US version sounds so wrong. Revolver is even worse. I agree. I'm having second thoughts about the early one. Oy. It's rough. It's rough being a Beatles fan. But you know what? For me, it comes down to how much of a completist do I really want to be. I bought these because I have the ability to get them in relatively inexpensive. I actually think they're cheaper in the UK from what I'm hearing, or the box set is anyway. Andy's favorite Sgt Pepper, now on Fashionable Opinion. I know. I just kind of go all over the map with Pepper. I love the remixed, brightened up version of it. I like that. I have like 3 different versions of Pepper on vinyl. I think at least 3, and all of them have their quirks. There are just some songs on there I'm like, yeah, and others are like, wow. So it is what it is. It was kind of Paul McCartney's fantasy album, and Let It Be. It's good. It's a good thing. Let It Be is an okay album. No, that was not what I meant. Yeah, good to know. Did I show this one already? I remember. Yes. And then you talked about Sgt. Pepper. Love it. Awesome. Total Shift. Album of the year. I think of the live stream that I either kept or deleted. I only have like 2 streams on my channel feed. One I didn't keep because I felt like there was nobody on it. So that's okay. I have noticed that if people find the live streams after the fact, and some people watch the whole thing, probably in the background, and that's fine. I have a handful of albums that I'm, are contenders for my album of the year for 2024. I got my Parent original mono version and the 17. Both sound great in their own way. You got your 2024. Understandable. I actually can't wait to hear these. I hope, I was getting ready for this when Mazzy dropped his review thing. I watched it for like about 30 seconds and I went, okay, I'll watch that later. I'll be interested to hear what his take is on it, because I'm sure he probably has originals from back when he was that age and can comment on what they sound like. Okay. Album of the year. Contenders. I may be the only person in the United States to own this album by Feeder called Black Red. And I have been playing this almost nonstop this entire year. I want to say this came out in March, somewhere around there. Nonstop. It is so good. Droids, Elf, Playing with Fire. It's a great song. Vultures. Hey You is probably the best single that they have put out in years. It's catchy. It's super radio friendly. I mean, it's a good song. It just isn't just a cash out, get radio play thing. Sleeping Dogs Lie, Scream, Submarine. The fact that Feeder could put together a strong 2-album studio album in 2024, having almost 30 years out, is crazy. It is crazy. But this is a really good album. So very atmospheric inner. There is a very cool 2-tone red-black edition of this. It's like the vinyl is divided down the middle. I just opted for the black vinyl. It took me ages to get this here. It shipped and it's floated across the water, probably on a freaking raft from, where did I order it from? Banquet Records in Kingston, I think. I like them. they're good with sending stuff punctually. So that is a contender for album of the year for me. Stateside, this album by Blushing, shoegaze band out of California. Can't remember. Mastered by Mark Gardner of Ride in Oxford. Holy, why didn't I know that? That's amazing. Maybe that's why this album is so amazing. This is their strongest album, but Blushing had not released a bad album, in my opinion. Let me get this kind of another way so you can see this. Look at that cool album art. I just love it. That alone is worth it. Tamagotchi. Just go find that song and play it, and you'll be like, wow, this is a really cool album. Seafoam, Slice, Silver Teeth, Sugarcoat is the name of the album. Is Say When, pull you into Charms and Debt. Even the back cover is fascinating. I love this album. I've had a few opportunities to see Blushing, and it just hadn't transpired. Very nice red line. What else? This album landed on my turntable about 2 weeks ago, and it blew my little mind. A group called Thus Love. Yeah. This is interesting. I call this the Alex Turner from, it's not Alex Turner, from Arctic Monkeys. The lead singer for Thus Love sounds like Alex Turner from the Monkeys playing with Johnny Marr. Yeah. It's really, really solid album. Yeah, clangorous, fabulous post-punk pop. That says it right there. On the Capture Tracks label. Very simple, but gray vinyl pressing. I don't know how I lucked out to get a colored pressing, but I did. Song on here that blew my mind is the birthday song. Second track on side 1. And I was just like, oh my God, I love this album already. And it just gets better and better and better and better and better. Andy has some favorites. What's up there, bud? My favorite's 2024, Nick Cave's Wild God. I have streamed. I haven't bought it. Yeah, solid album. And I have heard so many streams talk about the Lovely Eggs album. And I haven't got around to it yet. I probably really should check that out. Yeah. The ranking the obscure guys are really into that one, especially Nick, which I thought was funny. Yeah, good calls. This one is also blowing my mind. Another UK band, and they haven't gotten a whole lot of street cred over here. I don't think they even toured the United States, because I would go. My God, Crows. This is their third album called Reason Enough. Easily their strongest album since their first one, which I think is Silver Tongue. Second album didn't rock my world too much, but it was okay. It just wasn't fantastic. This is fantastic. Reason Enough. Bored should be an Iggy Pop cover. It sounds like it's an Iggy Pop cover. It's so fun. What else is on here? Is It Better? Vision of Me, Land of the Rose. There are songs in here. I think it's Lie to Me is the one that just keeps popping up in my head and just won't go away from my head, and I love it. Clear-ish, silver, transparent-ish vinyl. But what a great album. So, I mean, anyone's followed my channel with any rigor, I'm big on UK bands, and getting hold of some of this stuff for me is hard. This is not released in the United States, at least not to my knowledge. along with that Feeder album, and they turned out to be two of my favorite things this year completely. Another shoegaze. I would not put Dives album. This is Dives. What's it called? Frog of Boiling Water. Good album. It's good as far as Dive goes. Not their best album, but it's definitely interesting. Also, it's probably, I would say it's probably their most accessible album. Since, I mean, I've been on board with Dive since Ocean came out. That was their first one years ago. I've seen them a couple of times, if I recall. So, good album there. And more UK goodness. I had really high hopes. Stay there. I had really high hopes for the Fontaine's Romance. I wasn't sure what to expect when this dropped. This gets my vote for worst album cover of the year, first of all. But it's a super album. It just took a long time to grow on me. I like their last one, Sgt better. Their debut album is stellar. This is a band that doesn't do bad stuff, and they also seem to be kind of evolving over time. I have tickets to go see them next year, and I'm so excited because it's the first time I've finally been able to go. Andy's up to no good here. Hey, another fave, which may not have made it across the pond. US Record Store Day released. I have not heard of that. Is it Melis? The BBC Sessions. Any BBC Session stuff I tend to like. So I will file that away for future reference. I definitely will check that out, sir. Always a good time. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the album art, but it's a good album. I don't know if these guys are British, but they're called English Teacher. And this is their debut album. This Could Be Texas. And it is angular, interesting, kind of almost art rocky in a way. I love albums like this. And this one has been stuck on my turntable quite a lot this year, too. What label are they on? Ooh, I forgot. This is a bonus CD in it. Where is it? Bonus CD, where are you? Here it is, which has 5 sessions of songs on here. I don't even think I've played this yet. Yeah, it's called The Pool Sessions. Oh, I can't see that. There we go. So, English Teacher, yeah. There was an album last year that it reminds me of, and I can't think of the name of the band, and they didn't pull it. Bummer for me. But yeah, includes the singles R&B, The World's Biggest Paving Slab. There's a title for you. Mastermind Specialism. Albert Road. Yeah, English Teacher. This one came up, I don't know if it's like a Pitchfork or an Enemy review, and I went, that sounds really interesting. I went to go check it out, streamed it. I was like, I'm buying this, and I did. So, if you haven't figured it out, I marched to a kind of a different drummer with music. I don't like commercial, mainstream, anything. Yes, indeed, Fontaine's DC, they are great live. I've seen lots of streams of them. English Teacher's also good. They're pretty local to you? That's cool. So I couldn't remember if they were UK or not. Yep, beer break. So, is that all I have? No, the first time I did a live stream, it was like an hour and a half long. The second one I did was over 2 hours and 20 minutes. It went on and on and on. It was so much fun. But had a kind of a rotating cast of characters. A lot of people I reached out to say, hey, I'm thinking about doing the stream tonight. And we're like, oh, okay, man, I might be able to stop by. Or they're at a concert, or they're Northern Revolutions. Rob is out shopping with Brian from Embryonic Vinyl. That'll be an interesting meeting. I wonder what they'll buy. All kinds of stuff, I'm sure. I might wrap this up because I don't have anything else much to talk about, and I've talked myself out of, or boxed myself into a corner, if you will. So, Andy's, thank you for stopping by, sharing some comments, keeping me company while I do all this stuff. But, yep, I think I will wrap it up for the evening. So, thank you for stopping in, and I'm thinking about going back into my Take 5 line of videos that I haven't abandoned it. It's just other things keep coming up in thread responses and all these contest entries and all that. They're fun too. But anyway, all right, we will catch you all later. Have a great evening and enjoy your weekend. Bye all.